Hello and welcome back to another LEGO Unbox, Unbag and Build per bag. This time I'm here with set 75292, the Razor Crest, or the Mandalorian Bounty Hunter Transport. Just giving you a little look at the rest of the box. You can see here that there's a standard enough kind of box to the thing. You can see a little bit of the art down there showing the ship itself. Skipping the back for a minute, we can see a logo for LEGO Life. A little Star Wars logo, some small print writing, and to be honest, nothing unusual down the bottom there. And we give you a look now at the back of the box. Now, something you might notice first off, something I noticed first, was the fact it has this little box here saying, play it in LEGO Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. Underneath that, what it does have that other sets around the same time don't have is find the secret code to unlock the ship. Now, the play it in LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is actually in all of the sets that came out around August 2020. But one thing that stands out between them sets and this set is the secret code to unlock the ship. Otherwise, everything is actually already in the game by the looks of things. And this one, you have to actually unlock a little, you have to buy it to unlock it, which is kind of interesting, but I'm assuming you don't actually have to buy it because the code is probably generic. Judging by the final jewel, I seen a code in the back of that. I'm not going to release that information yet, but I did see a code in the back of that, and by the looks of things, it's going to be a fairly generic code. One of the main actual selling points would be the fact that it comes with Baby Yoda for the first time. Now, there is two sets that come with Baby Yoda. You have this set, and you have the kind of brick-built figure of the set, not a buildable figure, but a brick-built kind of piece of Baby Yoda, which comes with a small minifig. But otherwise, this is the only other place you're going to get it. And of course, you can say another great selling point is the ship itself, which is not always the main point of buying a set. Like Anakin's Interceptor recently, I wanted to buy because I wanted an upgrade on the ship, yeah. But with something like Grievous's Starfighter, I really hate Grievous's Starfighter's design. Like in the movie, not as a LEGO set, but in the actual movie, I just don't like the ship at all. The only reason I got it was for the 3 minifigs that it came with, and not even the 3 of them, just the 2 of them. So it is good to see that the actual ship in this set is a great selling point for it. But now getting on to the actual back of the box kind of description here, you can see, we'll go from the top to bottom, that it comes with spring-loaded shooters and many replacements for the spring-loaded shooters, which seem to be loaded up around there somewhere, which is very nice to see there, because obviously, you do want replacements for your spring-loaded shooters if you're playing with it, or if you're displaying it, it still is a kind of nice feature to have in there. It's nice to know that it's all kind of thought through. You can see that the ship here is laid out, all the functions of the ship, maybe not all of them, but a lot of the functions are laid out just in this picture alone. It shows that you can take out the carbonite prints there, and you can see the little figures are all in action, and again you can see that you can take out the carbonite prints from inside the ship. You can fold down the walls, which makes for easy access, held together by the looks of things with Technic going through kind of the main part of it, which keeps it sturdy, which is always good to see, because sets like this big, you always have a fear that the weight of them is going to break them whenever you pick them up. Now, getting onto the bottom here, you can also see that this flips up here, which is the around the cockpit side, so you can actually have a nice ease of access in there as well. And also, you can see hatches opening up here, and this side panel opens up here as well for Din Djarin to slot in there. Now we can give you a little close-up of the 3 of them there, because it's always nice to see them a little bit closer up. You can see IG-11 here in the corner as well, looking well in his kind of battle mode, I suppose. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the back of the box there. So I suppose now we can get straight into opening it. From the back of the box to the unbox. Now, something I do love about some of these sets is they have the tape on the sides instead of the thumb tabs. Again, I think I've opened it wrong to my general orientation for opening them. I open them that side, and again, it just weirds me out a little bit every time I do that. But let's get a look at what's inside. So, first off, we can see that there is an instruction book, and a massive one, a really thick one actually. It's quite the thing. It seems to be thicker than the AT-AT Walker, and you know, that's saying something at the moment. It comes with a sticker sheet here. It doesn't seem like a lot of stickers, but it just, you really do want to get them in the right place by the looks of things, you know. Never happy to see stickers, kind of always happier to see printed pieces, but of course printed pieces would drive the price up. This piece here is on its own, not in a bag. I think it's the only piece that's not in a bag, to be honest, but yeah, let's get these laid out for you now. So we can see here that there is 6 steps per bag, like there's 6 bags, you know, to go from, but there is 9 bags in a sense that 4 comes with 2 bags, 2 comes with 2 bags, and 6 also comes with 2 bags, and then there is 1 spare piece, a sticker sheet, and the instruction books. I suppose we'll get into bag number 1, and we can see in the first bag we get, of course, our orange brick separator, which is interesting to see there. We have our helmet, which is kind of interesting because it already has the black kind of visor, but this, it's like, I'm going to say dual molded because I don't really know if I'm using that word right. People say dual molded legs, but it looks like just a double print on the legs, and I'm not sure what it means. It doesn't, I don't see any like seam in the middle of it, but I could be using the word wrong, could be using the word right, but either way, there is 2 different bits of plastic in there. You can see, of course, the rest of that trooper as well. Interesting pieces. There's not an awful lot of kind of unusual pieces. Now this is kind of interesting because let's count it. It goes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 20, 40, 16. 16 by 1 Technic rod, completely white. That's nice to see there. Like I enjoy that. It comes with 2 small bags, and this is what's in each one. This is one bag and this is the other. You got the head there for, I'm assuming, the Scout Trooper, and there's also a black head up here as well for, I'm assuming, Din Djarin. Something I don't understand is they do it a lot as well, is the helmet is in here in one of the smaller bags for the Mandalorian, but the helmet is in the bigger side for the Scout Trooper. Now, I'm not sure why they do that, but, you know, it is what it is. And having a look on into the instruction book, I don't think there's going to be much interesting with this build. Of course, I will keep you updated and now figuring out what's in here. I'm just assuming it's Din Djarin's cape there. I don't think you get a spare. Yeah, that's what that is. It's the cape, and it does not come with a spare. As per usual, don't expect it to. So yeah, that's the first bag, and of course we have the instructions out, and there is no other hidden sticker sheet there. So yeah, let's get on to the build. So at the end of bag number 1, we have a lot of the base done, and I will say the only kind of notable part is that the amount of clips on the side of this thing. Just when you think you're done building the clips onto the thing, there is actually more clips. Otherwise, the only other notes I'd make is that it looks sturdy enough so far. The big long Technic bricks are inside there, kind of holding it all together as well, which makes for a bit more sturdy, and this seems like it could be a very integral part of it all staying together. So basically a skeleton. And we can see as well that we have our 2 minifigs built here, the Scout Trooper and Din Djarin, the Mandalorian. Our spare pieces are few for this bag, as you would expect, because there wasn't an awful lot of small pieces. It was mainly building onto the main kind of part of it and making a, you know, base for it all to start on. So now, as you can probably see up there, we're on to bag number 2, and Baby Yoda is here. So I was going to take a break, but I'm not. I can't take a break. I need to build Baby Yoda. It just has to happen. So yeah, we'll get straight on to that now. So bag number 2 here, and kind of the more interesting pieces, the more kind of would be these red chairs. I'm not sure, are they actually just the pilot seats? But I don't remember them being red in the show. But I suppose it's kind of dark in the cockpit, isn't it? They could be any color really. And this, I mean, I would have thought this would have been like a base plate for a mini build, but I don't think there is any mini builds with this set, you know. So what we'll get into seeing what that is later on. You got some really long Technic pieces there as well, and kind of smaller ones. It looks like it's going to be a very important part of keeping it all together throughout the whole set. And yeah, I haven't seen these bits in a while now. I have seen them loads when I was younger, but I haven't seen them in a while again. They've made a bit of a return. to my inventory at least. I'm not sure about what with the other sets, like Technic sets and stuff. But getting on to the small bags, and you can probably make out already Yoda's head, or sorry, the child's head. And he is in the second number 2 bag that comes with the set. Otherwise, you can get the smaller bag that's inside the bigger bag of number 2, which is, you know, standard enough pieces. Again, I don't think there is any printed tiles in that part, but you might say, oh, there's stickers, but there has been a mix, quite a lot. There's been a mix of printed tiles and stickers. So yeah, again, nothing too fancy. I mean, these bits maybe because they're a bit more unusual, but otherwise fairly standard enough lot. And yeah, I suppose we can just get straight on to the build. So at the end of bag number 2 here, we can really start to see it coming along kind of nicely. We can see the general shape of it kind of coming along. You can see the end of the tail here and the kind of long kind of front bit at the front. And you can see the 2 chairs obviously in there, the 2 seats for the guys. And you can see also that his bed is starting to come along, which is interesting enough there. You can see that is obviously where the cargo is. And yeah, as I was saying, or as I was assuming, it's held together really well with Technic pieces so far. And I figured out there's a printed tile there as well, which is I didn't notice in the unbagging, but sure, look at it, I'll give you that. And also, we've used 2 stickers so far. For some reason, it has rolled up in the last couple of minutes. But we've used 2 stickers so far. We only have 3 spare pieces, which, you know, to be expected with this, with a bag that there's not an awful lot of small bits in. It was mainly just the bigger bits. And of course, we have the child here as well, the only minifigure from that box. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this bag. Let's get on to the next. So, bag number 3 here, and we have pretty standard pieces for the most part, apart from something I haven't seen, I don't know if I've seen it ever, is these giant kind of skis, which is really cool, because I don't think I've seen it before myself. I've obviously seen the smaller versions of them, and another really interesting piece is this bit. You would think that usually it kind of ends here, and it's kind of 2 by 3, but this is 3 by 3. I think 3 by 3. It's really odd looking. It's a very kind of unusual shape. It's essentially just a kind of wider version of a piece that already exists, but it's just very weird. It's one of the other interesting pieces in there, and just kind of once over again, like this piece here is also quite interesting. It's just an odd kind of unique shape. You can see the spring-loaded shooters there, of course, nothing unusual about that. Yeah, okay, generally everything else is the opposite side there for that one, but generally all the other pieces there and another one are fairly standard otherwise. So yeah. Anyway, getting on to the 2 small bags that come inside that, we have again standard enough pieces, nice colours there on some of the pieces. Interesting to see those kind of colours come in on those pieces there. And again, these reds are nice as well, like that's kind of interesting to see there. We can see that we have the droid body for IG-11, and where did I see his face? His face is it over here? Yes. So you can see the printed face there on IG-11, which is interesting to see there. Always good to see them going the extra mile and printing those tiles and bricks. So yeah, that's pretty much it really. Let's get on to the build. So at the end of bag 3, and we have, as you can see here, we have IG-11 there, and his gun, he kind of looks a bit bulky. His head looks too big. This thing coming out the back looks just too kind of awkward, and it just doesn't really look as great as I thought he would, to be honest. I thought with the head print that there'd be a great improvement with the character and he'd just look amazing. But no, you didn't really get that. There are your spare pieces there for bag number 3. And as you can see here, we've kind of added on bits for the outside and a little bit more detail around here and here. A little bit more depth and body to the set up around this direction mostly. And we've added on the skis on the bottom. Now I was right in assuming that the one it was in the front and middle, and the other two are at the back there. Yeah, otherwise, like, during this bag, there was only like 2 or 3 things that really was like, oh, cool. It was the fact that you kind of added these 2 bits onto the side, just because they're stuck on as on side orientation rather than stuck straight up, which just is kind of, interesting. It's nothing that we haven't seen before, of course, but it is just kind of interesting to see there. Otherwise, not much else kind of different. We did kind of just, again, add more bits on. Yeah, I suppose we can just fly on straight to bag number 4. So, now, bag number 4, we have, I kind of like this bag, to be honest, because you have kind of cool enough pieces like that, which are, the main kind of interesting point about it is that it's big. We've seen bits like this before, but, kind of smaller, and it's just nice to see. And also, these massive pieces, which are essentially a massive version of that piece, which is cool to see as well. We have these Technic, are they rods, or I'm not sure the actual official title of them, but they're yellow. They're lovely in yellow, which is interesting. I like to see that. We have Astro Droids here that were hidden. No, they're just open, but they have the Astro Droid body piece, not printed or anything, but yeah, that's there. With these bits, of course, we've seen them in an earlier bag. I'm fairly happy with this bag, to be honest, because it is, like, there's some nice pieces in it. Nothing, like, crazy unusual or new pieces to this year or anything. But, yeah, generally some nice pieces in there. And these, we've seen them on the 501st Speeder, but again, I just kind of really like them. I just think they're unusual, Getting on to the small side, you can see these Technic pieces with the holes in either side, the Technic hole in the middle, and kind of holes for kind of rods in the side, like kind of like the lightsaber rods, or the for example, walking stick looking kind of rods. Otherwise, nothing too crazy in there either, but we'll give you a look at the small side there. And the second bag from here to the right, I forgot to actually open there. I forgot there was a second bag for number 4. I thought it was 2, 5 and whatever, I don't know, I can't remember what it was. But anyway, yeah, here is the look at the second bag that comes with bag number 4, and nothing crazy. Like, the most interesting piece is probably that or that, there's not, there's no printed tiles, or there's no, real kind of interest there. But anyway, yeah, that's a look at that. Now we can get on to the build. So you're building away at this thing. It starts off with this here, and it, kind of builds onto that there. These are hollow apart from this one. This one here isn't hollow, and the rest are kind of hollow in there. Nothing in there, and you start off with this tile, make 2 of these, and add them onto the side. And to be honest, I was thinking, like, it was going to go on the back here or something, maybe, like, But, no, it doesn't do that at all. Goes in the front. So this is actually the front piece. I mean, some people are probably like telling me already that they know fine well that that's the front and they expected that to be the front, but I love how they add that on there, because it's just an interesting technique. Again, I just personally really love that technique when they do kind of add these side tiles on, and then add this kind of stuff. Here's one I did earlier, looking kind of like that, which kind of, fills it out nicely there, fills in the extra space there, and kind of joins this to something, because it wasn't actually joined to much there in that area. But yeah, it's very nice. I like that technique. So I thought these bits, I thought I knew where they went. I thought they went in around here, because there's a few bits in there that kind of call for it. Like, you see those white bricks there? I thought they went in through there, but they actually don't. That's not where they go at all. They go on top of this and in through those little rounded bits there, but they actually go inside the gun here, the turret, which I think is really cool. It keeps it all together. It's not amazing, like, it's just a kind of cool wee kind of technique they use to kind of keep it all together. And it does just, like, another kind of point while I'm on the turret is I just love the way they build the turret, because this is a nice piece to add especially when you add these kind of small tiles into it there in the kind of, we're going to say armholes, I suppose. And yeah, no, it's just a very nice build. Like, I mean, it's also kind of neat the way they have the two different kind of styles of clip. Like, they have the kind of technical clip where it goes on levels, and then this one where it kind of moves freely. But you can kind of keep it up or put it down. But also the fact that it's not the same way the whole way through means it's actually light enough so that it stays together, but also kind of moves easy enough for you. So there's a nice kind of middle ground there. So at the end of bags number 4, we have a lot done, to be honest. We have a lot added on to it, so not really much on the top, but from the side we have all of the panels added on. Now, I think I said earlier, if I'm going to add that part of the video in, that the end of bag 3 is essentially, for the bottom half, the build. All you're adding then is the panels on the side, which is interesting because, you know, you can really get in there and play with it if you're a kid, or, you know, just kind of recreate some scenes if you're an adult and you want to display it in certain ways, which is, you know, cool. But again, this is kind of all we've done for bag number 4. We did the front here and all of the side panels, the 2 side turrets. And to be honest, I like the techniques used because they kind of use the horizontal building, and the clips are all filled out here on the bottom and they all fall down, which is absolutely great to see. It's like, it's just good to see there's so many options on a set like this. But the stickers are just starting to annoy me, because like you can see there that it just, I don't know. See, it's actually, I don't know if anybody really noticed, but it has actually an ore on the side of it for Razor Crest. And I'm not sure if that's actually, you know, portrayed properly here. I think they just kind of added in some lines and stuff, you know. Although there is kind of, I was going to say there is more stickers. If you want to see, we've actually used all of those stickers from the top, and it's just these 2 stickers now for, I'm assuming, the engine. Our spare pieces, again, for this bag are very short. We have 4 spare pieces there, and so yeah, I suppose we can move on now to bag number 5. I'm going to do it tomorrow, so the camera lighting is going to look a little bit different. It'll probably look a little bit brighter even, or just more natural light. So yeah, that's the reason for that. Yeah, let's get on to the next bag. So it's a new day and bag number 5 is ready to go. We can see here that there is kind of some interesting pieces here. You can see, of course, that they have this piece here. You can return of this piece again. It was in one of the last bags. Possibly this piece here. This piece is kind of interesting. You know, not a whole lot of just standard parts. Specifically, you can see the minifig here as well, and also we're using this, which comes outside the bag. So that has been instructed to be taken out as well. And our small side here is, you know, standard enough again. Kind of some, you know, interesting pieces there and here, but otherwise kind of still standard enough pieces. Now, even though this is one of the more interesting bags from the set, there's not an awful lot of pieces in it. I thought I was looking for another bag, thinking that's not it, but this is it for this bag. So yeah, let's get on to it. So I wanted to, what did I want to mention? I wanted to mention something. Oh, pushing these down. This was a couple of steps ago, because obviously, you know, if you put these on top, but pushing these down, it's really sturdy. You can really push into it. Usually I push from here and kind of hold the side and kind of, you know, do a bit of kind of gentle push in there. But always with a set, I will try once to just push in the middle of it and see if it's sturdy or not. And this thing, you can try and crush it, but it just won't crush, because of all the Technic parts in it. But yeah, that's one thing. This is on, you know, normal clips. This is the main point I started recording for this time. Yeah, let's get into this, right? So this is on normal enough clips. You can see there that the you know, clips are clips, and then you see these kind of Technic kind of clippy, kind of clicky clips, right? These clips. It's telling me to put these clips onto those little Technic clicky ones. Like, you know, I've seen this before in the General Grievous' Starfighter from 2020, And I thought it was an interesting technique, but they're getting kind of too comfy with it, I think. Yeah, they're definitely getting too comfy with that idea. It worries me. It does, putting these in there. I mean, it does, it just worries me. So at the end of bag number 5, we have Griff Carga and our spare pieces here, just getting them out of the way. But yeah, this is interesting. So, first thing, we've made this, and as I said earlier, they're getting kind of too used to this technique where they kind of clip it in. I thought it was going to wiggle, but then I realised it can't wiggle because this wiggles. And you can't wiggle one up to wiggle one back because that's not how physics works. And obviously this is where you put his little gun. I just have it all there to keep it so it doesn't get lost. And yeah, they're getting kind of too used to these clips, but this actually just kind of slots in here and clips on, you know. And then you grab this little thing here to take it off, which is interesting. It is interesting. It's cool that they are trying new techniques and stuff. These things get stuck in there, so I had to lift them up. You pretty much do this, and this is just fantastic. Putting your finger in the little hole there and just lifting it up. It's just so much easier than like trying to like just the other ways that like they've done things like that. But the main thing is you're able to take this out, which on hindsight kind of looks a bit difficult to do on its own. And then obviously you can see in there, I'm not sure you need to see in there, that's not really the point. I think this is an escape pod. I think so. I would assume so, but I can't remember. Like, so you put your finger in here and you just kind of curl it to lift that off, which is really handy. Like, it actually does come off really well. And then there's 2 sleeper tiles there, which makes me think the character's back of the legs go there and then stands up like that. And then he has a little window for looking out there, which is pretty great. And then it just goes like, you know, flies off or whatever, and then this goes crashing into the abyss. But I'm just going to check this out now. I think a problem with it is the fact that it's kind of hard to okay, you can take it out the back way there, or like it's kind of hard to take out on like its own, you know, the whole thing without taking off the top. It's kind of hard to take out unless you kind of get the back there and kind of lever it up like that. Or maybe, hold on. Is it even on the tiles there? Yeah, if you kind of like push down on that there, it kind of works. But we'll get into that anyway in the review side of things, which should be linked down below. But yeah, we'll get to the next bag. So, bag number 6 and the final bag. We see a few kind of interesting pieces here. Of course, we see these like bright yellow rods again, and it's great to see that there. We see 3 of these, which means you only get like 1 replacement, which is kind of misleading because the box shows the side is full of you know, sticks there. But you know, we'll not get into that. We'll get into that in the review maybe or something. But otherwise, yeah, interesting pieces. These things are weird. Like, they're really detailed. Like, they've really worked on them. They're not just typical old, you know, wheel kind of looking things. But yeah, that's really interesting, really nice there. These pieces, of course, also come in Death Star Final Jewel. That's from the same year. Otherwise, like maybe this kind of interesting enough. But yeah, otherwise it's kind of standard enough pieces. Again, maybe this part there, and there's a few kind of interesting pieces there, but you know, we'll kind of move on. So to the small bag, this is the bag that comes, like the second bag too. And you can see some nice blue bits there. Otherwise, again, standard enough pieces. You got that kind of wheel there. You've got the Astro Droid head there, which is kind of interesting because the body is there earlier on and we've used it already, but no, I'm joking. Also, we have some nice kind of green, lime green kind of studs there, which are very interesting to see, and of course a lot of these because I think we all know where they go. Yeah, but that's pretty much it then for bag number 6. Let's get on to the build and we'll finally be finished. And we are done. The last 2 massive stickers go on the side here, and that is the last of the stickers. I'll show you the spare pieces for bags number 6. We got one spare piece for bag 6, and just while I'm here, I'll show you the spares for the entire bag. If they'll all get out of the bag. So, still a decent enough kind of parts list there for the end of the whole bag, but per bag there was a very small amount each time. I think that the first bag or second bag had the most in it, and then everything was like 2 or 3 pieces after that or something. But yeah, that's the spare pieces, and we are finished. We're finished the build. I'm disappointed. Well, not disappointed, but I'm sad. I want to keep building it. I really liked building it, actually. Like, it wasn't mad techniques or anything, but oh, I should mention that those lime green studs are actually the whole way up inside here. 3 each, like 3. So 1 and then a brick, and then some plates, and then 1 and then a brick, and then it keeps going up that way. So that's where they're hidden if you want to know that. But yeah, one bad thing I will say is there's 3 clips here for your little projectiles, your torpedoes. They only give you 3. They give you 2 for here, and then you can fit 1 in here. Now I am going to fill it up because I have torpedoes myself. I have red torpedoes, so I'm going to fill that up myself and also keep them in there. But one good thing about the torpedoes is, you see these bits that I was talking about earlier, the bits that like you have to keep up because they keep going into the ship. That's where you fire your torpedoes. You press down on them and your torpedo fires. It goes ba-joom, and then like it's like, oh no, it's stuck down there, but you stick your torpedo back into it with these, and then yeah, you just let it push down again. I think it's my favorite mechanism for the spring-loaded shooters, because they always have something that you push on. It's not usually just a spring-loaded shooter, especially on the bigger sets. But yeah, that's it. I'm actually so sad that it's finished, but it's, again, amazing build. I'm not sad that it's over. I'm happy because I had the chance to build it. Here it can show you some of the features, so you can take out the cockpit piece there and put in Mando and Kid, and also then you can store your blast there. You can take this out, and I think it is an escape pod. I think that's the kind of point in that, which is decent. On to the next page, then we have, there's a typical 2020 advert for Lego Star Wars, which is also a bit of a lie because it's 2021. I will mention it every time until they get it right. No, they printed these way before they knew the crack. And yeah, you can see the minifigures then that come with some of the new sets, and also their parts list at the back, and you can see some also sets here that came out last year and this year, and of course your parts list, and that's pretty much the end of that one. So yeah, that's it. Thanks a million for watching my video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment if you feel like there's anything that needs to be said. Thanks a million, guys. See you again. Take care.